Alright, welcome back to Isuzu Truck Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the dangers in society today, in our community, the wars that are going on. A lot of people are not very happy with what's going on right now. You've got a leader of a country right now in the White House that seems to do nothing but escalate tensions and creates new wars around the world. We've had Ukraine and Russia and the U.S. war going on for almost a couple years now, and nobody seems to pay much attention to that anymore. And you don't hear much news, don't see any pictures or videos surfacing. At least I haven't seen very many on the news showing any kind of casualties. You don't hear about any casualty numbers in the news in Russia or Ukraine. All you hear is talk and jabber on MSNBC and Fox News and NBC about how we need to give more money to Ukraine. Well, we've already given Ukraine about 120 billion. I think they want to give another $60 billion. And so far, out of that first $110 billion, only about $47 billion of those funds has actually been verified to have gone to aid and the war efforts, provided aid to the war. The other $50 billion hasn't been accountable, and nobody seems to know what happened to it. There's a few people that do, and it's pretty much out there if you know where to look and listen. And from my understanding, is the other $50 billion has just been picked up by some oligarchs and some bureaucrats, and they're buying mansions and yachts in Monaco with that money. And I'm sure they're probably buying other things like gold and Bitcoin, whatever. And I tell you, a lot of people have had a belly full of it, and they're not going to put up with it. All right. So enough said there. As far as the Isuzu truck's going, it's running good. Haven't had any problems with it. I do have to fix the throttle plate, the secondary throttle plate. It's not quite opening up fully. Other than that, she's running good, and I'm happy with it. You know, I enjoy it, putting around town. And I will have to change the oil in it pretty soon here, but it's not really necessary. I do like to keep the engine oil clean, but you know, it's not really necessary right now because I've already changed the oil in it about 5 times, maybe 6 times since the rebuild a year ago. You know, I got all the sediment out of it after the rebuild and the first start, so it's all clean oil now. It's just a little discolored. But I do plan on doing a video on a little documentary about my personal life, working and running a ranch, being a caretaker of a large ranch in Montana, and working with the owner of the ranch, who was a very prominent business operator, prominent businessman, and he knew a lot of people. He had connections in government because of the project that he was hired to do, using his skills and the trade that he was in, the type of business that he was in, and he helped the government do a very significant operation in the time that he was in business, which was in the late 60s and mid 70s. It's like a 10-year, a decade time period there that he was working with the government. And I'll get into that more in detail when I do the documentary. But I spent a lot of time with him, working with him, and became friends with him while I was employed. And it was an interesting part of my life. You know, I learned a lot, and took away from that a little growing experience in my life, and I really appreciated my time knowing this gentleman. And he's not alive anymore. He passed away back in around 2011, and I'm hoping to get this documentary done by the end of the year, but I don't want there to be any snow making traveling difficult and kind of slowing me down a little bit. It's cold and everything in Montana at the end of the year, so you know, I hope I get it done like the end of summer into fall. Might wait till after the snow melts in March to April, so we'll have to see how things go there. But yeah, that's kind of the plan for this year. That's the big project for me this year anyway. It involves some traveling and a couple weeks of time off to get away and do that. Other than that, you know, I think it's important that we all focus our attention to taking care of people we know in our community, watching out for each other when we go into town, go shopping. These are dangerous times. As you know, there's a lot of things going on in the community. There's a lot of attacks. Crime is up. Shootings are up. Seems like just about all over the place in every city, even where there didn't used to be any shootings. Now it seems like there's shootings almost daily, at least weekly, and a lot of other attacks and problems, car thefts. So this is due to the migration of the migrants, the millions that came in across our open borders, and people are tired of that too. They've had a belly full of it, and there's a lot of protests going on. You look at New York, Seattle, LA, different places. You have these migrants who are protesting and chanting "Death to America" and burning the flag. I mean, there's videos, on social media. They're burning the flag up in Seattle, in the streets of Seattle, New York. And, my advice to them is, if you don't like it here in my country, then go back to where you came from, because you don't belong here. And that's the way it is. You want to bitch and complain about this country, I'll tell you what, you're lucky to be here. That's all I have to say right now. Your ass is lucky to be here and get the aid and attention that you've been getting from our taxpayer dollars here and the people of this country, the citizens of this country. I was born here. My family was born here. Ancestors migrated in the early 1800s from places like Ireland, France, Germany. And they built this country, and they founded it. They founded the Constitution of the United States and gave us our Bill of Freedom and Liberty. And I'll tell you what, if you don't like it here, get the hell out, because we don't want you here. We don't want people who are troublemakers and want to attack American citizens and try and disrupt our joy and happiness. And that's all I have to say there. So take care, everybody, and watch out for each other. Watch your neighborhood. Watch yourselves when you're going to the store shopping. Keep your eyes open, and gear up. Don't go alone. Go with somebody that you know, and just be ready. Keep your eyes open. All right, you guys have a nice day. Take care. I'm out.